Your president and your party and your colleagues can talk about issues with any other country that you want, but you don't have to do it by putting a bullseye on the back of Asian Americans across this country, on our grandparents, on our kids. This hearing was to address the hurt and pain of our community and to find solutions, and we will not let you take our voice away from us.
Powerful words, fighting back tears. That was Representative Grace Meng during yesterday's House Judiciary Committee hearing addressing anti-Asian hate.
Yeah, the Congresswoman has been fighting for solutions to this spike in violence against Asian Americans, and she joins us now. I want to say good morning to Congresswoman Meng. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so you got pretty emotional toward the end of your address during yesterday's hearing. You were responding to comments made earlier by Representative Chip Roy from Texas. Take us back to what he was saying and why that reaction was so strong from you.
So we were really thankful that the Judiciary Committee was able to conduct this hearing. There were bipartisan witnesses, Republican and Democratic Congress members, willing to testify, willing to work together to find a solution to address the skyrocketing incidents that have been happening across the country, over 3,800 from our last reports. And so when Mr. Roy from Texas started talking about everything under the sun except for the topic at hand, I was really upset. You know, we don't have many opportunities to have this sort of platform and ability to do this.
You know, I actually think we have a little bit of a snippet from yesterday's hearing. I want to take a listen and then ask you about it. Do we have that? You know what? We don't have the actual clip, but let me talk about yesterday's hearing right now, because I want to discuss why you felt the need to address him in that moment, right? It just seemed to what he was doing was glorifying lynching almost to the words he was saying. And I just wanted to get your feedback on why you felt the need to address him in that direct moment.
Well, so we did have to speak in turn. So I had to wait at least half an hour before it was my turn to be able to address him. And it wasn't part of my prepared statement or what I had planned to say, but it was just sitting on my mind. I couldn't let it go. And I really wanted him and the public to understand the purpose of why we were there and that we shouldn't detract from finding solutions to this issue.
Right.
But where are we with solutions? I mean, you've also addressed the shootings in Atlanta, which left 8 people dead, 6 of them women of Asian descent. Here we are with yet another example. And as you mentioned, there's been 3,800 already so far. At what point do we see action? And also, is it on the Asian community as well? Because inherently, being Asian American myself, we're a little more reserved, right? Is this a point where people need to start speaking up and speaking out and making their voices heard very loudly?
100%. Look, this is kind of a stereotype, but it's kind of true. The Asian American community is not necessarily comfortable with speaking up. We've always been told to blend in and to fit in, and people will maybe accept us as American enough. And because we've been sort of invisible for so long, you know, people don't necessarily see and feel the pain that we're going through. And so now we have seen people from way beyond the Asian American community reaching out, Black and Latino leaders, everyone really. And it is just so heartening. And they want to work with us to find solutions. And so solutions have to be worked on from the ground up, working and empowering our community, local organizations who are helping people every single day, all the way to working on legislation. We're pushing 2 pieces of legislation dealing with hate crimes and making it easier for people to report them and to get that data. And so hopefully that will be able to happen and help the situation as well.
Yeah, you know, that actually brings me to my next question about reporting, because hate crimes against Asian Americans are up by nearly 150% in the U.S., whereas overall hate crimes are down, right? Yesterday, I spoke one-on-one with the police commissioner here in New York City, Dermot Shea, and he actually said he feels these numbers are even higher, if that's even possible. Why do you think some people don't go forward and report?
I absolutely believe that they are higher. I've met people who've had incidents happen to them and they haven't reported. I've spoken to Mayor de Blasio's team about, and this is also in the federal legislation, about why we need to make it easier for people to report. People, when something happens to them, they might literally be on their way to work. They might have a doctor's appointment. And not every incident is, physically serious or damaging. And so they might just shrug it off and say, I can't wait, 30 minutes, 1 hour to file a report. They might not want to go down to the police precinct. They might have language, obstacles. And so there are many reasons why people might not want to report these incidents.
Now, you yourself have experienced hate-filled messages. Have you reported? What kind of avenues have you used to be able to not only put that out there, but protect others as well?
I have reported the incidents of the voicemails that people had called in about they were upset that we passed a symbolic resolution condemning bigotry towards Asian Americans. And so, look, I'm a politician. I've got pretty thick skin. I don't take those too personally. But I want to make sure that people who are being hurt and verbally or physically, that they are encouraged and that they report. But I'll tell you, growing up, I've had lots of incidents happen to me, mostly verbal, but I didn't report it when I was younger either.
I think we're going to stay on top of this every step of the way and continue to follow it. I do want to get your take right now, while we have you here, being a congresswoman from New York, about the latest in the Cuomo scandal, what's happening out of Albany. There were some bombshell accusations made in a New Yorker article by Ronan Farrow released overnight. Here's the article. I'm going to spare some of the details right now because I want to get to what you actually said, because this week you called on the governor to resign, tweeting that the mounting sexual harassment allegations against Governor Cuomo are alarming. And you went on to say the governor should resign for the good of our state. What are you hearing from your colleagues about this? And do you think that many are saying the women need to be heard, but let the investigation play out? You're saying resign now.
So I think it was last week I joined many of my colleagues in the congressional delegation, including our senators, to call for resignation. Look, I am originally a member of the New York State legislature. I wanted them to be able to make their decision and start charting their course. They have done that. The proceedings have started to be discussed. Our Attorney General, Tish James, of course, her and her team are conducting an investigation. And so, everything will take its course. I do feel that there's just been a lot of distraction and we're in the middle of a pandemic.
But you still do believe he should resign?
Yes.
Okay. Congresswoman, we've covered a lot of topics here, very important topics. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Take care.